Ladies and gents, welcome back. Had a computer crash this morning, so we'll see how we get through this video, and we'll see where we get from there. Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking about a particular term that's used online called doxing. And what doxing is taking someone's real-world information and leaking it out to people online so that they can be harassed in their home or workplace. And this is done to, well, basically squash dissent, get people to not criticize your opinion. Now, this has been used in online circles and has been recently adopted by people of the journalist persuasion, journalists and well, tabloid article writers. And well, this is being accused now of Rachel Gilmore from the Global News outfit, the National Telegraph, putting it out there. Rachel Gilmore helped spread doxed information about a pro-freedom Indigenous woman. Now, Rachel Gilmore, if you don't know who she is, she's a writer for Global News, TikTok star for the Canadian outlet. And, well, yeah, is famous for her reporting skills. Here she is in an article where James Top is actually brought lawsuit for this one in particular. And this one was because of the URL up here, if you see. And you scroll, this is an archived link. James Top, white supremacist, far right, making accusations of the man to go after political opponents of hers that met with him, and that was the main reason here. Now, Ian Miles Chong, a American journalist, went after her for basically, in so many words, plagiarizing somebody else's article and not actually fact-checking. So you ripped off Vice report and didn't do any fact-checking of your own to get comment from Elon Musk. So just writing a report about speaking to Putin before tweeting the Russia-Ukraine peace plan report. Now, other people doing the back-breaking work it is as a journalist to say, hi, Elon Musk, is this true? No, I haven't spoken to Putin. I've only spoken to Putin once, and that was about 18 months ago. Subject matter was space, and this would be before the invasion of Ukraine. Of course, she writes an article update. Thank you, Ian Miles Chong, for doing the legwork for me. Update: Elon Musk denies my report, essentially. And this is the kind of journalism that we've been getting. She's also been criticized for being like Taylor Lorenz, and Taylor Lorenz was famous for doxing the person who owns the Libs of TikTok page. Rachel Gilmore, replying to someone who compared them, says Taylor Lorenz does phenomenal work. This is the hero, Taylor Lorenz, doxing the Libs of TikTok owner. Anyway, let's get into the article. Rachel Gilmore helped spread doxed information about a pro-freedom Indigenous woman. Global News reporter Rachel Gilmore and her supporters fearmonger a lot about the online hate and harassment she receives on platforms like Twitter, but are Gilmore and those who orbit her innocent of engaging in harassment against those that they disagree with? First off, it's important to state that the vast majority of Twitter users condemn those who are needlessly vulgar or who send death threats to reporters they disagree with. At the same time, anyone who has worked in media, legacy or independent, is used to that sort of gross behavior. Reporters like Rachel Gilmore like to play up all that negative content in order to draw attention to themselves. Recently, Gilmore has been appearing at events about online hate where she, along with her other journalists and public safety minister Marco Mendicino, called for legislation to try to prevent hate and harassment. Now, this was a meeting that they had for journalists and online hate. We can talk about these things that are coming at us and have an audience for it. Jonathan K. pointing out the president of CBC, Rachel Gilmore, Marco Mendicino. Yes, sounds like a very politically balanced discussion about online hate. Unbelievable. But yeah, here's her at this discussion here. I'll play just an excerpt from it.
There's maybe 3 things I'll mention. The first one is how distinctly unfair it is. I remember being so mad because I'm trying to do my job. I'm trying to write an article. I'm trying to set up interviews. I'm trying to call people. I'm trying to do research. I'm trying to actually put the words on paper. And because I am a woman, because that's where a lot of this comes from, and a lot of it is targeted in the fact that I'm a woman. You know, they make jokes. It's funny, like I joke about the pumpkin spice thing, but it's all kind of rooted in this misogyny, right? Yeah. And it's like this added hurdle that I'm getting a call from the police officer in the middle of my day when I'm trying to get my work done, and it's like an hour conversation. And I just can't help but think, like, man, this is what people from, like, this is what white men don't have to deal with to the same extent. It's not interrupting their workday. It's not slowing down their ability. And like, that's really the substantive impact on the output. Like, and that's where it is successful in making your voices just that little bit smaller. Because every minute I'm on the phone with a police officer is a minute I'm not chasing a story. And it's really unfair. The second thing I wanted to mention was moral injury, which is a word I think we've heard a little bit more recently in the last year, especially for frontline workers in the pandemic. But it's sort of this weird shift that starts to happen in how good you feel the world is. When I have to catch myself sometimes, because when I'm really in it and just getting an onslaught of the worst things said, when I'm just trying to write an article about, you know, trans rights, it's really hard to not feel like that's what the world is. And I think you have to kind of take a second and step back from that. Otherwise, it really can dampen your outlook and just make you feel like it just makes your life a little darker. And it's really painful. And then the last thing I'll say is I have never been so goddamn grateful for Zoloft. And I think that we should all be really open about that.
Okay, just medicate the pain away. That's wise words from Rachel Gilmore here. Now, if she's getting police calling her because she's has to deal with defamation and whatnot in the middle of the day, I think that's par for the course when it comes to being a journalist that's writing, well, defaming things in her articles. Now, we heard a bunch of the things that she had to say about the Freedom Convoy protesters, and that was quite irritating for a lot of people to hear themselves being lied about. Now she's dealing with this case where, well, she doxed somebody, and, well, this is the allegations that are being put forward. It would be pretty ironic if a legacy media journalist like Rachel Gilmore gave justice to harassment of those who she disagreed with and spread doxed information posted by Antifa affiliated accounts. Well, that is exactly what she did in the past few months. Twitter user who goes by the name Bratani called Gilmore after her most recent online hate event for having facilitated harassment against her back when she was supporting anti-mandate veteran James Topp. Hey, Rachel Gilmore, remember that time that Antifa doxed me? They shared my job, personal name, and even my hometown on Twitter against my consent, all because I stood up for a veteran you were calling a white supremacist. Yes, that was a thing. And then there it is, a white supremacist. I remember, and she continued on with the tweet. I remember you even justifying sharing it. Thought it was funny while I was being harassed. You even shared it a second time while I was still getting calls at my job from your followers. When I filed the police report from all the messages, that might have been the police that she was talking to while she was trying to write articles for more articles. When she filed the police report with all the messages, they actually took me seriously, unlike how they handled it when you called. Unfortunately, we have both know, we both know, sorry, this idolized or italicized writing. Antifa are mostly anonymous accounts. Although she is not one to play the identity politics, Brittany jabbed at Rachel Gilmore based on the facts that she technically has been helping to harass an Indigenous woman. Brittany posted a photo of her Indian status card for proof. Now, we saw this during the Freedom Convoy. People who like to pull the race card often ask for the race card. We saw this with Tamara Litch when people accused her of being a fake native, and that's really embarrassing to hear that kind of thing coming from journalists. It should also be noted that despite Gilmore's pretending that harassment she receives, i.e. mostly just a disagreement and mockery online, negatively affects her as a journalist, really has been made a more viable asset to Global based on all negative and positive attention she has received by fighting with her critics online. Now, this comes in the sense that, they get clicks. They get clicks, rage clicks. People are rage clicking on these articles because they understand that this is how you can sell your newspapers these days. Most people are tired of legacy media in completely, and just don't pay attention to it until you see a rage article from Rachel Gilmore. And then people click on it. They get their small bit of ad revenue. And this is the price that we've paid in modern times. Brittany then proceeded to share Rachel Gilmore's elitist legacy media persona and demonstrated what a real character is all about. She stated, well, my job is being contacted constantly. I never once reported you for this. Know why? I'm not a victim. She later did report this to Global, and I saw a tweet online that she reported this, and well, nothing came of it. She was never contacted back. You, Rachel, are she wanted to play the same game. I'm going to play the same game with you. You, Rachel, are misogynistic, privileged, colonizing white supremacist who willingly allowed a native woman to be harassed in the name of virtue signaling. You used the privilege, power, and platform to cause real harm, and you never deleted the post or apologized. In fact, you re-shared it later to justify it, and this is why you're a hypocrite of the worst kind. I will once again ask you to apologize publicly to James Topp for slandering his name. Brittany also mentioned that she has never harassed Gilmore online. Her only major post about Gilmore up until then, she called out was a posting of a photo of herself dressed up like Rachel Gilmore for Halloween as a gag. And here we go. This is the picture. So with a bunch of band-aids from getting all them jabs. And well, that's funny. It's a great day for 5 boosters. With the oh, too funny. Now, there's been some backlash against Global News. Now, here, apparently, the parent company of Global News is lobbying Parliament for direct cash grants to subsidize 25% of their employees' pay. They want the government to pay. This is the thing. The legacy media is dying, and this is their last-ditch effort to try to get clicks. Like, nobody wants to listen to them in Canada anymore. When the government is so heavily involved, and you can tell that it's just propaganda, people just stop paying attention, and that's the way it is. And it's killing their business. It's just the toilet bowl of, well, we can't survive in the marketplace, so we get the government to subsidize us. Then people realize that we're just government propaganda, so we just pay attention even less. And this is the way it's going. But Rowan here pointing out, Sean O'Shea promoted lockdowns, and his cameraman assaulted a convoy attendee. David Atkin shouted out Pierre Poilievre. Abigail Biman fabricated an anti-Semitism accusation against anti-Trudeau protesters. But they want your money. Recap below, and to which Brittany then also adds to the list. Rachel Gilmore willingly doxed and shared my info on her page, including my job. She runs stories that are flat out lies. She has slandered many names, and I hope she gets sued for it. She's bottom of the barrel at Global News, and I'm sure she'll be the first one out. We're not sure that she'll be the first one out. I think she might be one of the few that's actually generating clicks, like I referred to before with the rage click. And this is where we've gone with journalism now. Anyway, this video is going too long, so I'm gonna end it here. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about Rachel Gilmore and the accusations being hurled at her. And well, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.